surrounds all of these events. Roy Jones, do fighters love all of this stuff, or are they distracted by it?
A welcoming party. You want to see it as extravagant as it can get, because in some instances, this is your last time.
Tyson Fury descends from an unusual clan called the Irish Travelers. Gypsies, literally nomadic, able to beat him. That may or may not be true.
Well, it's Tyson Fury. Maybe a page out of Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay
over Mike Tyson. Noteworthy wins for Tyson Fury, and some polite applause from the crowd. Obviously.
Heavyweight champion Joe Louis. There was one championship back then, and Joe Louis had it for 25 title denominator in terms of the comparison.
Condition and is consistent in his habits as Wladimir Klitschko, but it's still 39. The next time he appears in the ring, he will be 40. It has to mean something.
Let's get ready to rumble! Tyson Fury! Wladimir Klitschko!
Referee Tony Weeks, based in Las Vegas.
There's a sense that Klitschko may be slowing down, as he did against Jennings in his last undefeated record, like Povetkin, and the fact that he's a big southpaw like Thompson, but that Klitschko.
So he believes that he can fulfill what amounts to a parental prophecy by winning the heavyweight championship. Fury misses over the top with the right hand, and then very concertedly.
Just to let you know.
His skills are much more refined, and eventually he can impose them. And Tyson Fury, some kind of improvisational advantage that he seems to believe he has.
Fury landing one power punch, but even that was just as we go forward, round one.
Good round, yes, it's a good round. Looking for his one punch. He's really fighting timid. He's going to slow down, but you got to keep putting pressure on him and don't foul him.
Yes. Listen, got to graft this job.
Landing 4 of 14 jabs and not throwing a single power punch. Fury,
and he's supposed to be losing these rounds.
Now Wladimir Klitschko lands a jab.
It really caused Wladimir a problem. Now Klitschko decides to go in and gamble. Unless Fury can hurt him, it's going to be pretty dangerous for Fury. Be as meaningful as it will if Klitschko lands one.
Now there, Fury steps forward and lands a left hand. An uppercut, a body shot, a hooking punch, a straight right hand. All of those are power punches. Round 3, scheduled 12 in Dusseldorf.
You can counter from it. He just hasn't been able to do that yet. Ways like that, it's not easy to predict what he's going to do.
Now Fury's in the southpaw stance.
That's kind of strange, but like I said, I think he's afraid to run into a big shot, and he doesn't want to take him.
Now Tyson Fury goes back to the conventional stance.
Klitschko is okay in terms of his winning the fight, because when he does punch for 3 rounds.
I think he's not afraid or not worried that he can't do damage to Fury.
After the first 3 rounds, personally, I think it's conceivable.
There's no question you could give him all 3 rounds. I got a 2-1, 29-28 Tyson Fury. You know, Jim, in the first round, I thought that Wladimir had effective aggressiveness, but rounds 2 and 3, Wladimir did very little. And leaving himself open for a big shot. 2-1 Fury.
This is the kind of...
And particularly dreadful from Wladimir Klitschko, who is expected to be better than this.
Yeah, usually the standards are much lower for Tyson Fury. If he wins a boring fight, very close fight, and you didn't really dominate.
Well, so far, if you were looking to see which of the threw his hard right hand across the top, throws it again and misses. And that may inhibit Fury from turning to that southpaw. No, there goes Fury into the southpaw. Fury throwing more jabs than Klitschko and landing. Hard right hand for Klitschko lands on Fury's face.
That's the first right-handed
But
power
still
shot.
hasn't been nearly as aggressive as he'll need to be, it appears.
Seconds out, please.
All right.
pressing into it. It's for the world title. Come on.
Or two, it's also conceivable that those very close rounds could go the other way.
Well, a lot of times over in Germany, everything
Under
on
the
his
left eye.
Yeah, I think he should be doing some body work because body work.
As Jonathan Banks told Wladimir Klitschko, is trying and maybe successfully
upstairs.
Of course, like that.
Left eye of Wladimir Klitschko, a cut on the cheek. Not dissimilar, by the way, to the cut that catches.
Very good long flicking jab that's causing Wladimir a lot of problems, and the feint before he throws it is causing just as much problems.
Just missing with a right hand over the top.
The two come together, and the cut is actually caused from that headbutt right there, not from a punch.
Well, that's different from Clay Liston. He's unofficial. He's not one of the scoring judges for the fight.
With Klitschko's power, you would think
Tyson's
there's...
feinting and that long jab right there.
Jonathan Banks wants to see that Kronk catch and counter style from Klitschko. And I think that
with a decision win, that's not terribly dissimilar to what's happened in the first 6 rounds here tonight.
he's also used to things going his way, even when he fights on the back foot, even when he fights too cautiously.
Step up the urgency between rounds. We've heard landed as we close in on the midway point in the fight. Is the cut man working there on the opened skin under the left.
Wladimir is not punching. I mean, look at that. Fury touches him. Wladimir hit harder. You know, he can knock out with either hand, and he's not doing it. He's just grabbing Fury.
Avoiding Klitschko's jab, doing just enough to win rounds. A reminder, by the way, several Witherspoon and Carl Williams, they gave both fights to Larry Holmes on the card.
He needs to tighten up some.
And the optics are no good for Klitschko with the blood flowing under his eye. The Roy Jones, you see that?
Yeah,
Roy?
he's been doing it all night long.
He put both hands behind his back.
Если ты не будешь, ты просто ходишь за ним.
He said Fury beat him to the punch with the left, but Fury beat him to the punch. Then Fury lands a weak left, a weak right, and another left. There's not, and Klitschko's not returning.
5 rounds to go. When you look at that scorecard, the unofficial scorecard for Harold Lederman, if you just are enough to bother Klitschko and keep him from pulling the trigger on big punches.
And if you watch right there, you know, great shots to steal. Good jab by Fury.
Yeah, that's your jab away with head movement.
There's another good jab for Klitschko.
That's the second one. Maybe he's got it.
And Francisco Vargas, here's an entirely different kind of fight.
Now he won't punch inside when he needs to. Like right here, he should be working. Not Fury, he's the shorter guy.
And hold on to his title.
Right from the first round of last week's Canelo, this is what happens. The young guy comes to replace him. Really good right hand by Klitschko and held again.
And Fury gets in a little left, just counted by Coffee.
Oh, good shot.
Big left hook by Fury. As Wladimir. That was a tremendous opportunity for Fury, and he took advantage. For a guy who is the heavyweight champion.
We're just seeing a little more willingness to do what he has to do to win this fight.
Wladimir got in a little right hand.
Come in with the 1-2, the best right hand right on the chin. That was a good guy. Then Fury hits with a good left hook right on the chin, and that was his best punch of the fight so far.
A mark outside Klitschko's right eye will be losing.
Win, lose, or draw, this is a rematch.
He either has to knock Tyson Fury down or out, or he has to get a point deduction.
One of the most frequent laments of disappointed opponents in boxing in the last 10 or 12. The overwhelming bulk of his career based in Germany. He is very... Fury switching from side to side, clipping Klitschko.
Why did you punch? Like right there. Why you let that right hand go and follow it? So you got to go to the body, to the head. You got to let your hands go.
One thing we haven't seen from Wladimir Klitschko in his long and a fight, partly because he's always up in his fights, partly because when he's lost, who is really bringing it to him. We haven't seen him down on the cards, desperate to score a knockout and do something.
This is an example of the better fighter, and that was another good body shot by Fury, and Fury landed some good halfway hits.
Remember, Roy, that a guy who's been told by his corner you need a knockout to keep your title is the one
his height that he could hold and win with. Because he held him, he didn't get used to fighting on the inside.
He can't.
Oh, left hook for Fury.
Klitschko went for a hold.
Absolutely berserk. After this is over with.
Fight better than him. He don't fight. He trying to dance around. You stick to it, put your hands like this and step to this motherfucker.
Well, despite the points up, he could get knocked down 3 times and still be the winner on Harold's
out, because in Klitschko going for the knockout, he's going to leave himself more vulnerable.
The DQ would be if Fury is caught with another rapid punch. Two big left hooks by Fury. Landing on Klitschko's commanded the fight with his movement.
Oh, good
and
shot.
more punches. And there's a tremendous right hand shot by Klitschko.
10 seconds off the clock. That's bad clock management by Wladimir Klitschko.
80 seconds to go. Left hook by Klitschko is a good one.
But Fury fighting back. Fury's not
From Klitschko earlier in the fight when it might have made a bigger difference.
Opportunity wasted for Klitschko, who landed some big punches in this round.
Fury fight like he's the guy that's
His
behind.
loss has been by knockout.
Never ever lost a decision.
One more chance for Wladimir. Going to help.
No, but he's trying to fight for a chance. I mean, you got to give him credit. He tried.
Here's Tyson Fury. Parents made when they named him. This was after several warnings during the fight for rabbit punching. It was a scratch and sniff kind of a fight, but Wladimir simply stood and looked.
8-3, one even in favor of Tyson Fury. Like you said, round 11 becomes an even round because Tyson Fury won the round. Tony Weeks took away a point, so it becomes 9-9, an even round. But other than that, I mean, it was just Tyson Fury.
For the scores to be tabulated and announced.
Unified heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury.
We are not in control of, so be sure to tune in tonight to hear the post-mortems from Germany.